Hello and welcome to another edition of Straightforward with me, Clinton D'Souza. Today we'll be speaking about those people who really mean a lot. The people with disability, not only mentally, physically, but different kinds of disability. We'll be also talking about the benefits, the issues that the people with disability face when it comes to Goa. And for that, I have with me the president of DRAG, Mr. Alvino Dias. Hello, sir, and welcome to Goa 365, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, let me start off this discussion by asking you a simple question. What is the scenario when it comes to disabled people in Goa, in the state of Goa?
Scenario is not very good considering that lots of things have still to be done by the state government. The Disability Act 1995, which came into force 25 years ago, had many benefits for persons with disabilities in terms of education, employment and accessibility. And even after 25 years, lots of it has to be done by the state government in respect of these things.
Okay, so are there any designated institutes or kind of caretakers to take care of these disabled people in Goa?
In Goa at present we have about 27 NGOs which is working for the welfare of persons with disabilities. Out of this 27 NGOs, about 23 to 24 NGOs are for the education and the rest are for advocacy and other things.
Okay. Do you have any kind of a number or a figure where you can give me a count of how many disabled people are there in Goa at the moment?
As per census 2011, there were 33,000 disabled persons, but that were the 7 disabilities as per the old Disability Act. In the year 2016, the new Disability Act which came into force has 21 disabilities. So we are expecting around 45,000 disabilities as of today.
Okay, what are the difference that have you being the president of and such a big organization, and this organization plays a major role of taking care of those people who are actually sometimes neglected. So can you tell me what are the differences that you find when it comes to the old act and the new act of 2016?
The new act has lots of benefits in the sense that it has got 14 new disabilities under its ambit. It has also increased the reservations in jobs and educational sectors. And main thing is it has brought the private sector also under its ambit. So now the private sector has also to be accessible for persons with disabilities. It has to have an equal opportunity policy for persons with disabilities. Another benefit that the new Disability Act has brought in is that offences against a person with disabilities was not a punishable offence. But now it has become a punishable offence under the new Disability Act.
Okay, so it's just the job benefits and the offences that are registered.
Yes, and the private sector which has brought into some ambit.
Okay.
So the scope for employment for disabled persons has gone up quite a bit.
Okay, if the scope, what is the number, the percentage of from the 33,000 who are actually working when it comes to government or the private sector?
No statistics are available with the state government as of date.
Okay.
Even this figure of 33,000 was by the census, which was conducted by the government of India.
Let me go a little bit more ahead. Everyone says that disability or people with disability are always that you can see through your eyes, but if you go to see, there are lots of people with different kinds of disabilities. So what do you have to say on that? Can you mention some kind of different kinds of disability that people have maybe in terms of Goa, India and across the world?
Yeah, there are lots of invisible disabilities. Like you have thalassemia, hemophilia, sickle cell disabilities, mental illness also is not always visible. So there are disabilities also there, which are the invisible disabilities.
So is there kind of different
Hearing
process to
impairment.
take care
Hearing
of
impairment.
the people with different kinds of this issues, or is just the same process for all?
No, every person is unique, no? So each disability is different. So naturally the taking care process also is different for each individual.
All right, I just want to know more. Now, when it comes to people with different kinds of disabilities, how do their family reacts to it? Because you must be meeting different kinds of people, different kinds of NGOs, schools, teachers. So what is their kind of say on this?
Different people would, I would say, have reacted differently.
Okay.
Many people have accepted their disabilities. Many people have not accepted their disabilities. Many parents have taken their children for rehabilitation and early intervention and things like that. Many parents have not taken their children for this early intervention or rehabilitation. So there I would say it's a mixed reaction between the people.
Have you come across any parent or a family member or any caretaker, guardian who's like, this person has disability, I do not want that person with me? Has this kind of scenario happened?
So far we have not come across a scenario.
Okay.
But there, Goa is a state, we have not reached into the villages and things like that.
Yeah.
We are still in the cities. So there might be cases of neglect of persons with disabilities and things like that in the villages. So far it has not come to our notice.
Okay. So how do you get the information when it comes to creating records or kind of going, because you are a president of an organization, so how do you manage yourself when it comes to fighting for these special people?
In sense like?
In sense like helping them, like your association always is there for those kind of people, making them feel comfort, giving them the benefits, fighting for their rights. So how is it for you?
Means we get information about such
Okay.
cases either through the social media or people contact us directly.
Okay.
Now we are working for the last 17 years. So people know about us, and people, today, thanks to the social media, the awareness and the print media, the electronic media, people are knowing about our association. So whenever there is any problem, they contact us, and that is how
Okay.
we get to know about such cases.
Okay, going back to the issues, because we have come in this social media, or when it comes to working with the electronic media, we have also seen that lots of people complaining at different kinds of offices or different kinds of family issues when it comes to disabilities. So when such complaints or such issues you come across, how do you all deal with it?
We try to see the best way that we can solve it. If we can do it through negotiation, we do it through negotiation in the family. If there's a requirement for the state disability commissioner to intervene, then we ask the state disability commissioner to intervene, or we take it up with the respective government departments wherever required.
So you said there are rehab centers in Goa, right? So how many are there, and what is the kind of level of or kind of people or patients that are admitted into these rehab centers?
See, rehab centers means we have early intervention centers.
Okay.
Early intervention centers are being run by, there are 2-3 organizations which are running early intervention centers. Then there is a center for the mentally ill. Then there are parent support groups. Parent support groups are there for autism, intellectual disabilities. Okay, and there is an association for the deaf. We have an association for the deaf. We have the National Association for the Blind. We have a Blind People's Welfare Association, and we have our organization which is working for the rights of the disabled. So about 3 to 4 organizations are there which are disabled persons organizations run by disabled persons themselves.
Okay, I think on this note we'll slip into a short break. and we will come on the other side to discuss more when it comes to the issues, the social stigma, the problems on day-to-day activity that the special kind of people face, the support and the not support, the different kinds of issues. We'll discuss on the other side of this break. Stay tuned and keep watching Goa 365. Welcome back. I still have with me Mr. Alvino Dias. So, sir, moving ahead, we will continue our discussion when it comes to the issues and the problems. Disa, sorry. Okay, I'll take it back. He's stuck again. Okay.
Just a correction in the name, Clive. It's Abelino Disa.
Yeah, I took it.
Yeah, Abelino decides.
Yeah.
Yes,
Welcome back, and I still have with me Mr. Avlino Disa here. So we will go ahead with our discussion that we had stopped before this break. That is the issues that these special kind of people face in their day-to-day life. So going ahead, I want to know what are the everyday issues that these kind of people face.
There are issues of education, employment, accessibility, social security. Okay, now accessibility is concerned, lots of places are not yet accessible, even after 25 years of the Disability Act, the old Disability Act. And you know, if there is no accessibility, a person with disability, with orthopedic disability or visual disability, so when there is no accessibility, when there is no accessibility, we cannot think about education, we cannot think about employment, we cannot think about entertainment for persons with disability. Then another issue which is there is employment. Employment is also a major issue for persons with disability because lots of people today are still unemployed. Though there is a 4% reservation in government jobs for persons with disability, only 2% jobs have been filled up by the state government. So 2% of jobs is still to be filled up by the state government.
So is
then
it
your social security?
Yeah,
social
go ahead,
security sir. Also there are problems in the social security also. As you know, the DSS has not been paid by the state government for the last 4 to 5 months. So this DSS is for the poorest of society. So many people are, for them the DSS is the only source of income. So they are also facing a very hard time because they have not received this DSS for the last 4 to 5 months. So,
but there is 4%. So are there not any complaints made because only 2% of the people are taken by while the other 2% are neglected? So are there not any complaints made because there are lots of people, these kind of people who are searching or are in need of this job? So are there no complaints made?
It depends on the jobs advertised, no? Only when the jobs get advertised, reserved jobs get advertised, and when you're not appointed, then only we can see about the complaints. But otherwise, till the job is not advertised, you cannot see about the complaints.
What is the major kind of job position that these special people have got till date? A different kind of sector. What is the sector or the job profile that people have got into?
No, today disabled persons are highly educated in Goa. Many of them, now there is a person with visual impairment who is the deputy director in the social welfare department. Then there are visually impaired people also who have completed their MBA, they have completed their LLM. Okay, so they are highly qualified people. I myself am a self-employed person. I am a self-employed investment consultant. So like that, there are many other graduates, there are doctors, there are lawyers. Okay, so there are persons with disabilities who have achieved and who are working either in the government jobs or in the private sector.
And what about in the private sector?
Private sector also people are working.
Okay.
There are disabled persons who are working.
So is there any percentage that you could tell our viewers that how much is in private sector that people are working?
No statistics are available for anything actually by our
Okay.
government.
No issues. Besides this job, there are lots of issues that disabled people find when it comes to transportation, when it comes to transport in Goa. So what you have to comment on that? Because majority of the buses, the public buses, then the taxis, and also other means of transport, there is no kind of a provision or a help for these disabled people. So what you have to say on this?
Same thing which was there for the accessibility of buildings. The same provision was there for accessibility of transport 25 years ago. That public transport, public buses should be accessible for persons with disability.
Yes.
But sadly, the Goa government has done nothing in this respect. I'm happy to announce that the central government now has come out with an amendment last year that no fitness certificate should be given to any bus, be it a public bus or a private bus, if it is not accessible for persons with disabilities. So this is now only left to see how soon the Goa government implements the same.
Acts on it.
Just last week we got the Directorate of Transport to issue the necessary instructions to the concerned Assistant Directors of Transport to ensure that the same is implemented with immediate effect. So let's see now when it actually comes into force.
Okay, going back, also the new buses, the buses that are sanctioned by the central government for the state, they also have a provision. So what you have to say on that?
No, if they have a provision, it's well and good. If they are accessible, it is well and good. If they are not accessible, then we will definitely raise the issue. Because this is a central government amendment to the Motor Vehicles Act, which the central government has made. It's only a question of implementation.
Okay, when it comes to going ahead from transport, let's go for the infrastructure. There are lots of places when it comes to infrastructure in Goa, maybe it government buildings to private buildings, hospitals or clinics where they do not have provision of a ramp or special provision when it comes to disabled people. So what comes in your mind? What are your comments on this?
The buildings, as I said, had to be made accessible. This became mandatory 25 years ago.
Yes.
So whatever complaints we are getting now, that it is not accessible, we are taking it up with the concerned department. But I am happy to announce that the new Disability Act provisions says that existing buildings have to be made accessible by 2022. And the new buildings that are coming up should not be given an occupancy certificate, nor it should be given a construction license if they are not accessible for persons with disabilities.
Okay. From this infrastructure, let's go ahead of the social stigma or the social kind of awareness that the association is doing when it comes to making people aware of how they have to behave, how they have to accept or how they have to take care of disabled people around them. So what you have to say, how will you as a person try to create awareness when it comes to acceptance and also helping?
Over the years, we have been doing a lot of sensitization programs. We have lots of disability-related films where it is showing the capabilities of persons with disabilities, and we are using those films as well as conducting programs in various schools, colleges, and various places to create awareness to remove the stigma of disabled persons. And I'm happy to say that the times are changing. The stigma is being removed over the years.
Yeah, you were saying that has the stigma moved ahead?
Yeah, the stigma has been removed over the years. Okay. As we are creating awareness, stigma has been removed that more and more people are getting aware of the capabilities and the talents of the persons with disabilities.
Okay.
Also, previously people used to call the disabled as handicapped and things like that. But now even that word handicap has been banned by the central government and the state government.
Yes.
So even that word handicap cannot be used. Disabled cannot be used. Now we call the person as a person with disability.
Okay. So I want to ask you this question because I personally have noticed this. When any person with disability is seen, they are neglected or they are looked in a different kind of a view, like they are kind of judged at that moment, or they are being sidelined. So what you have to say on this?
It may not be true in all the cases.
Yeah.
Okay. There are, because as I said, there are disabled persons who are educated, who are employed, who are self-reliant, who are role models also in society. Yes, there might be cases of neglect and all of persons with disability. Nothing has come to our notice as of now. Okay, but any cases which are coming up, we are willing to look into the matter and see what is the best that we can do. Another issue which is also of importance is that we do not have a home in Goa.
All right.
A home in Goa which can look after abused children or adults with disabilities. We have a lot of old age homes, we have a lot of children's homes, orphanages in Goa, but no home as yet to look after children and adults with disability, either those who are neglected, who are abused, or those who have nobody to look after them. So I hope the state government works something in this regard and comes out with a hope.
Have you approached the state government over this?
Recently they have made a statement, the state government has made a statement that they will come out with a hope for persons with disabilities.
Okay.
Because there might be cases of neglect of persons with disabilities in a family, but then you take out the person from that family and where do you put him? There is no home to put that person. So that's a
going
very
ahead.
catch
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah. Going ahead, when it comes now, recently Goa went into a mode of elections, Zilla elections. There were lots of complaints that were made that the ramp was not open. There were voters who were lifted by their wheelchairs, taken inside to vote, and then carried and brought back. So I think you must have come across this. So what you have to say on this?
No, accessible voting, like the accessible infrastructure, is a right of every disabled person. During the Lok Sabha elections, we had made, we were after the election office, during the Lok Sabha election, we got places made accessible. Even this time we spoke to the State Election Commission, and he ensured that things would be made accessible. But unfortunately, there were lots of complaints that places were not accessible. And as you know, also it was the elections were declared at the last minute.
Yes.
So preparation also for accessibility and all does take time for any person.
Okay.
But we hope that at least for the municipal elections, which are after some months, these deficiencies will be taken into account.
Okay. I think we are coming to the last phase of the discussion, that is the social and family support. How is the family support that these kind of people receive from their family members? And then I will go ahead to the social support that they get from outside their comfort zone, from their house.
I would say in many cases, the family and social support is very good. We have also been able to reach out to many disabled persons or help many disabled persons because of the support from the society around us.
Okay.
We have reached out during the pandemic and all. We have been able to help lots of disabled persons because of the support of the caring society.
Okay, and how is the support when it comes from outside their house? That's my last question before we end this. Is it the same that they get from the comfort zone, or is it different from their home?
It depends again from case to case basis.
Okay.
But on the whole, I would say it's a very good support.
Okay. Well, I think on that note, we came across and we understood the different kind of people that we live with in the society, the problems that they face, how we should be treating them as a normal human being, and also how they need acceptance from us and protection from us. I think on that note, Mr. Disa, thank you so much for being a part of Goa 365. And I think on that note, we come to an end of this straightforward episode. We will see you back with another edition. Until then, keep watching Goa 365 and stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.